But that argument will always continue. What do you think of those?
Well, it's quite obvious the criteria they use are quite there's an institution, and we know how strong our institutions are, and we need to, because strong institutions drive growth in any economy. Now, I just came back from Singapore 2 days ago, and you find that I went to just study these people, and you find that the strong institutions they have brought about, what the ruler of Dubai said some time ago, that is the economy that brings stability, both political stability, all kinds of stability. Once the people can get jobs and they want to work. And that's what they told them. I was listening to the Prime Minister of Singapore, and he said, look, anybody that wants to work must work. It's like they have full employment, okay? So they have strong institutions that you won't see the policemen out there. But that doesn't mean that they're not there. And I went around, the cab driver that took me, I was asking him some questions, and he said, oh, they don't need police, you can't see any police. And just once I saw a police vehicle pass. And at the airport, when some military men came because of the terror, just 3 of them with guns, they just came, walked around, and left. So you find that every institution is working. You don't need to, even the transport system, okay? You don't need to, you have this thing, you pay your money, there's no need, no. You don't see that because institutions are working. What about the infrastructure? I didn't polish my shoe once because what? The whole thing is the infrastructure provided makes it possible for people. The roads are clean. The lights didn't blink once, and the cost of doing business is less. You can't compete when you have about 85% manufacturing component. Power consists of power between 65 and 85% constitutes power. And you expect that you have to compete, your product you manufacture here should compete over there. It's a bit challenging. And then the health system, even the Human Development Index of the UN, showed that even Nigeria ranked even higher, about 137 or 100 something, the Human Development Index. And education is part of it. The quality of life is part of it. The standard of living is part of it. Okay? The quality of life, you come back home, you can turn on your tap, it runs, clean water and all that. The standard of living talks about the 1,000 naira you have in your pocket, even though you're earning more than any other person. But how much can 1,000 naira buy for you? So these are the things that indices you have also to look at to know whether we are actually making this in. The cost of doing business is high. Now, what I will advise the government to do, instead of complaining about this, is to take the cue from India. India faced a similar situation in 1991. The World Bank actually technically declared India bankrupt. But what did the Prime Minister do? The Prime Minister and the Finance Minister, who Manmohan Singh was the Finance Minister then, Rao was the Prime Minister. They got together, 2 of them and other few people, decided, okay, this is the World Bank report, what do we do? Should we complain or do something about it? They picked it up, started improving the ease of doing business so that India will be more competitive. Each item they complain about, that's the thing, the lesson that they have to learn is that they should pick it up, look at those areas and do something to improve so that rather than complain, okay, pick up issue of institutions, begin to strengthen our institutions. Pick up the issue of infrastructure. Begin to do that. And that was what India did. And India that had less than $900 million in their foreign reserve, all letters of, in 1991, letters of credit were rejected. Nobody wanted to do business with India. But what did they do? So they began to improve in all of this, which attracted Indians in diaspora to come in and begin to bring about outsourcing. That in 2011, India, that was technically bankrupt a few years back, gave Africa over $5 billion in grants.
Too much food for thought
so that is just the thing that we have to begin to look at. Pick it up. And the people that will help develop this nation. The government is not paying the kind of attention they should. We have seen it that it worked in India, it worked in China. We need to reach out to Nigerians in diaspora. They're the ones that will help us come out of this economic mess that we find ourselves. Until we begin to do that, working with indigenous entrepreneurs, then and only then will we begin to find the kind of growth that we're expecting and rank better. So we need to do something. Rebasing is nothing. It wouldn't even affect the ranking. It doesn't mean anything but it just gives it confidence. So they shouldn't look at that. So what they should be looking at, look at critically all those criteria, components, and then begin to pick one. Even if each year they solve one problem, they will run better. Take on health, they run better, and all that. So government attitude is showing us that you have to provide your own health, you have to provide your own education. That's the attitude, the body language of the federal government. They're not interested. In the past, it's just now that the current administration is beginning to set up new schools and pay attention to some of this thing. But in the past, you provide your own education, provide your own health. You're on your own.
Wow. That's where we'll have to leave it. Dr. Austin Nweze is of the Pan-Atlantic University. We've been taking a look at issues raised and how to grow the economy. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you.